SVG.
Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Get the kind of value you'll love that's unmatched at Courts now. We're unmatched in quality and prices. Buy any item and get up to 30% off the second item of same or equal value store-wide. When you shop with Ready Finance, you can get it now with no cash and pay over time. Now that's unmatched value.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has made an arrest in connection with the nation's 7th homicide victim, Paulina Graves. This was confirmed by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who also holds ministerial responsibility for national security, while speaking on the WEFM's Issue at Hand program. Prime Minister Gonsalves said he received this confirmation following a briefing with Commissioner of Police Colin John. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
Miss Graves, who was killed, nearly 2 weeks ago, on Friday evening, in relation to the investigation, he informed me that the DPP the Director of Public Prosecution, gave instructions to arrest a particular person and charge them. That person is, I've been advised, is likely to be going to court tomorrow to make his first appearance.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Paulina Graves, a 28-year-old timekeeper of Dorsetshire Hill, SVG's 7th homicide victim for the year 2023, succumbed to her injuries at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. Graves was approached and shot in the head by an unknown assailant in Dorsetshire Hill on Thursday, February 9, 2023. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is calling on the police to take the appropriate action against those responsible for the destruction of public property through reckless driving. The Prime Minister, while speaking on the Issue at Hand program, highlighted some of the areas around the country that have been affected by this, and expressed his disappointment at the lack of police action in relation to the cases for damage to property. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
Dealing with traffic is not only the business of the traffic police. You have so many public properties, bridges, rails. The one Casson Hill going down to Johannesville, the case in point. About 5 different places, you see the rails are broken. And the police don't make any case in relation to damage to public property. If you have arrested with them and you burst a button on their tunic, you get charged for damage to property. $40, $50, whatever it costs to put back the button on.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The Prime Minister said that he had talks with the Commissioner of Police, Colin John, in relation to this issue, and he has emphasized that this is something that he wants instilled in the nation's police officers in regards to the destruction of public and private property through reckless driving. Still on the local scene, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not selling out the island of Mayo, says Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. He was at the time responding to reports surrounding the sale of beachfront land at Salt Whistle Bay, Mayo. The Prime Minister, during a call to the Issue at Hand program, debunked the claims, pointing out that the government does not have lands up for sale on the island. We hear more from Prime Minister Gonsalves.
People go off and say, the government selling out the land, but we don't have any land down in Mayo to sell. You know what I mean? That land doesn't belong to the state. And as I say, that property has been in, as far as I'm aware, in alien hands for a long time. And if they sell into a Vincentian, whoever Vincentian is buying it, well, they wouldn't require an alien landholding license, the new purchaser. But if they sell into other aliens, they would require an alien landholding license, and I tell you how we approach this question. And then I hear people say, well, how could they sell the beach? Well, people must get into their heads, the law of this land is that all beaches are owned by the state up to the high water mark, and there's a right of access to the beach. All beaches are public.
The Prime Minister said that he has emphasized numerous times that the nation's beaches will always be public, noting that the government has taken a strong stance on this. On to news in the region. Some students at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies, UWI, in Jamaica, staged a protest on Sunday night calling for the removal of Student Services and Development Manager of Mary Seacole Hall, Dr. Nadine Spence. The protesting students are from Chancellor and Mary Seacole Halls of residence. Details of what caused the protest remain unclear, but it is being alleged that Spence reportedly made remarks to students of Chancellor Hall during a sporting event in the day, after an alleged earlier incident with some students and an official assigned to the said Hall of Residence. Spence was reportedly only trying to intervene in the alleged dispute. The protesting students eventually dispersed. The UWI is expected to investigate what led to the student protest. Tourism stakeholders in Barbados are reporting a positive outlook for the country as numbers exceeded pre-pandemic levels in 2022. Chairman of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, the BHTA, Renee Coppin, during a press briefing declared that the last quarter of 2022 ended on a relatively high note, with arrivals for December surpassing 2019. In December 2022, 59,216 arrivals were recorded, a 4.58% increase to December 2019, which had 56,624. Occupancy rates were also higher, Coppin added, according to the Smith Travel Report. Occupancy was at 87% and 77.9% in November and December, respectively. November's occupancy was more than 10% higher to 2019, and December it increased by 3.8%. The head of Barbados' largest tourism organization expects the island's strong performance to persist into the first quarter of 2023. On the international scene, at least 36 people have been killed in flooding and landslides in Brazil's São Paulo state, officials say. Dozens of people are missing, and while the number of dead is expected to rise, rescue workers say they hope to pull some of those trapped in flooded homes out of the mud alive. Video showed the neighborhoods underwater, inundated motorways, and debris left after houses were swept away. Carnival celebrations have been cancelled in a number of cities. In the coastal town of São Sebastião, 627 millimeters of rain fell in 24 hours, twice the expected amount for the month. The federal government ordered the mobilization of several ministries to assist the victims, restore infrastructure, and start reconstruction work. Operations at the port of Santos, South America's largest port, were meanwhile interrupted amid gusts of wind exceeding 55 kilometers per hour and waves of more than 1 meter high on Saturday, according to a local news outlet. And finally, in sports, Barcelona has re-established their 8-point lead at the top of La Liga thanks to a routine win over struggling Cadiz. Sergi Roberto gave Barca the lead late in the first half from a rebound after Robert Lewandowski had a header cleared off the line. 3 minutes later, Lewandowski drilled in a fine drive from the edge of the box after being picked out by Roberto. It was both players' first league goal at the new camp since October 23rd's 4-0 win over Atletico Bilbao. Xavi's side had chances to increase their lead further with Lewandowski hitting the crossbar. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Shop today and enjoy 50% off our wide selection of fashionable frames. Choose from our flexible payment plans from 3 to 24 months. Schedule your appointment online today at www.courtsoptical.com. Remember, at Courts Optical, your comprehensive eye exam is always free. So come in and find the frames you love at 50% off only at Courts Optical. See you in store for details. Courts Optical, value you can.